Okay, hello everyone. You probably don't know who I am, but I am Papa G, and I am joined with.
Dolphin V.
Yeah, and this is pilot episode of what we're hoping to become a weekly series of sort of a podcasting where we just sort of discuss mostly gaming stuff, but also maybe other things that we're thinking of. And this week we will be talking about three topics, and that is one, Kingdom Hearts 3 and why both me and Dolphin do not think it will come out in 2018. The Final Fantasy 15 anime and movie. And last but not least, the new Shadow of the Colossus remake.
Yeah, three big things. And whatever topic that might come into our heads at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you into Team Fortress 2 right now?
Yeah, I'm in Team Fortress 2.
Okay, let's see. Find a game.
Hope the game volume isn't overloading the podcast.
No, I don't think it is.
Okay.
I've gotten a lot of new messages. I've forgotten this game for so long. Okay, so let's find a game.
What? A minute. You know what? Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Okay. You know what? I think it might be best for now for you to play Team Fortress 2 while I don't and stuff because the volume makes it so I can't hear you, and I'm not sure how to mute that without also muting you.
Okay, that's fine.
So, do you want to start or should I start?
Yeah, you can lead.
Okay. So, for those of you guys who don't know, Kingdom Hearts is a big series. First game came out all the way back in 2002. It was a very big hit and got a lot of sequels and prequels and other stuff. And recently at I can't remember what it was called, a Square Enix event though, they announced at Kingdom Hearts 3, a game which I've been waiting for since forever, is supposedly coming out in 2018. And me and Dolphin V both talked off stream at one point or another, and that we both think that's very doubtful, right?
Yeah, I highly doubt it's coming out then.
Then now, why do you have your doubts?
Because the guy in charge of it, he's known for making you wait really long for games.
Yeah. The reason why I'm just so, like, I have a bunch of reasons why I'm so skeptical. I think some of it just because, in some ways, Kingdom Hearts 3 has sort of become a myth in my mind. Like, it's just sort of become almost like this thing that'll never happen.
Kind of like Half-Life 3. No.
Yeah, I was talking about Half-Life 3, that's a different thing. But, but like, in all seriousness, though, I do fully believe it'll come out at one point. It's just, for some reason, the fact that they said just 2018 and not, like, a more specific area, like 2018 quarter 3 or quarter 4 or something, just makes me kind of suspicious.
Yeah, there is that. And also the fact they've taken so long already, and apparently half the worlds aren't even done yet.
Really? That I didn't hear about.
There have been various articles about... God, this guy keeps burning me alive. About how ready the worlds are. Around half is general consensus of how many are done so far.
So, hopefully we're both proven wrong. And, like, I guess if we are proven wrong, we're gonna have to, like, eat our words and say, well, we're wrong. Right? But, like I said, I highly doubt it. So, that was very brief. Should we move on to our second topic, or?
Yeah, we can move on. I mean, we don't have a set format for this so-called show yet.
Yeah.
So best to wing it right now.
Yeah, good idea. Anyway, so, onto the part 2, which is Final Fantasy 15 and, its other media that's come of it. For those of you who don't know, Final Fantasy 15 is technically not a standalone game. With it, like, a little while before it came out, came a very short 5-episode anime series released online, and a movie which is like an hour, or it's like almost 2 hours long, which I watched both of them for the sake of this podcast. And
Yeah, he's very
Sorry.
devoted.
yes, I am a very devoted researcher. And one funny thing, though, before I go any further, I have a very brief but funny story about the Final Fantasy anime. Apparently, when it was first released, they released it at like a big Final Fantasy 15 show where they announced a bunch of information about it. And apparently, they were like, you can watch the first episode right now, but for like a solid week, no one could find it anywhere. If you were looking high and low everywhere, and eventually someone found it on YouTube like a week later.
Is that the anime? Or
The 5-episode anime, yeah.
yeah, I only saw that on Crunchyroll, not on YouTube. You might have been looking in the wrong place.
Well,
Until I lose
yeah, well, like,
another-
I wasn't looking, it's just I heard from other people where, like, apparently, like, they said, like, it's out right now, you can find it right now,
Yeah.
and for, like, a week, no one could, like, find it and stuff. They're probably trying to do a thing like what they did at the recent Game Awards, and Nintendo was like, you can buy the new Zelda DLC right now. Kind of screwed about. But, anyway, going into it, I wasn't too excited, because I was thinking it's probably just gonna be, like, just a studio mandated thing where they're just like, hey guys, make this for us quickly. And 50% it was kind of that, and 50% it wasn't. Like, at first, going into the Final Fantasy anime series, I was just super unenthused. I'm like, oh my god, I have to watch 4 more episodes of this. But as I went along and got into the individual character
Well,
stories, I'm
essentially
like,
where it covers
okay,
the
now I'm
point.
actually kind of interested more in the game now. What about you?
I was pretty much sold on the game before it even came out.
Fair enough. Well,
Yeah.
like,
I mean, I saw the movie when it was in theaters. That's how much.
really? Oh, cool.
Oh yeah.
Well, what did you think of the movie?
As a standalone film, it was pretty good.
I thought, I was kind of 50-50 on it.
The
Yeah,
spy stabbed
standalone,
him
I
with it.
thought it was alright and stuff, and if you're really into, like, Final Fantasy 15 and stuff, and, like, the universe or whatnot, then you'd probably be even more into it. But I'm 50-50 on, like, if it's a standalone thing. Just because, like, it feels like there's a lot of stuff in the movie that, like, feels like it's... How do I put this in the right way? Like, it feels like there's a lot of stuff in the movie that has, like, promising a continuation, like, obviously the ending, but, like, there's a bunch of ideas and whatnot I feel like are thrown in the film that if it were just this film and nothing else, I don't know if I'd really be that high on it.
Very good.
Sorry about that. But, what it is and stuff is I definitely got some enjoyment out of it, and it was definitely, obviously it was very visually impressive, and, like, very well animation and stuff.
Wow, what the fuck?
If one thing you can say about Square Enix, they definitely go out on the cinematic stuff.
The one
I
criticism I had about it is that they spoiled that King Regis was gonna die at the end of the movie, before the movie came out.
Well, the good news for me is I was sort of already
Jetpack,
spoiled about
Carl.
that long beforehand and stuff, but...
Well, no, this is long before the movie actually came out in theaters. They
Well,
spoiled
not
that-
long before the movie came out in
Yeah.
theaters. Like, I mean, long before I knew there was a movie. I didn't find out there was a movie till a while afterwards and stuff. And I heard somewhere that apparently the king died. Oh yeah, I just remembered. We should probably preface this video that we're going to talk about spoilers.
Well, they spoiled that for me before the movie ever came out when they revealed that the king was going to be played by
song
Sean Bean.
Was sitting above
That's
the
a good
point, I just
point.
reflected a rocket up
I-
on his crotch.
I don't normally make
You
meme
couldn't
jokes,
say
but
it,
in the
yeah.
back of my head, I was just thinking that's another to the list for him.
Yeah. Yeah, the moment I figured out that the king was being played by Sean Bean, I knew, oh yeah, he's going to die. He's dead.
One random, this is briefly off topic, but one brief Easter egg in June 2016 is at one point they show you a long list of casualties that were
Very
dead.
good
And
Wrangler scout
one of them is Sean Bean.
in the
Oh.
window.
Oh, I never noticed that. I'll have to look for that one.
Yeah, I never noticed
Yeah.
either until I saw a video that was talking about Easter eggs.
But a pyrogami.
But back on topic. Well, now we talked a little bit about the movie, your thoughts on it, and what do
Yeah.
you think of the 5-episode anime series? Do you think it added to the game at all? Do you think, like, what do you think?
Getting more into who the characters are and why they're as a unit.
Yeah. Like, my problem with it going into this, and you played the game, so you can tell me, is this stuff like in this 5-episode anime series at all present in the game? Like, do they hint at it at all, or is it just not mentioned at all?
It does help to understand some of the characters. I mean, there is that.
Everything right?
I'm sorry, can you hear me? This
Yeah, I can
stuff's
hear you.
gotten a bit loud on my end.
Yeah, I can hear you.
The control point is being
Everything
captured.
right?
Yeah, I'm good. So I think it helped add to the feel, to help explain who all the characters are.
But it's not like you don't watch the anime thing, like you won't understand it whatsoever. Right?
Yeah, it's not like that.
Okay. Because that's what I was worried about going into this, because I'm thinking if this is like a thing where it's like, if you don't watch this, you'll have no idea what's going on, then it's like, I'm thinking like, that would be pretty anti-consumer. It also makes me wonder why they would want to do that in first place, because of the making a Final Fantasy 15 and whatnot.
More worrying is that Square Enix probably could do that and get away with it, with how many die-hard fans there are of Final Fantasy.
I can't remember, there was one thing I saw in the past.
No, got him.
Never mind. Yeah, like, I can't help but wonder though, as I was watching the movie and watching, the anime series, I piecely was wondering stuff is, could you reasonably fit stuff like this in the game somehow, and would you really miss
Most of them died. It's just 3 people.
I'm not saying that as a complaint, I'm just wondering that theoretically. Because at least for Kingslave, I can kind of see that as sort of being made as a DLC in a way, as like a 2 to 3 hour DLC and stuff. But for the backstory stuff, I can kind of see it being a little harder. What do you think? I'm thinking that I'm just thinking of this like in retrospect, you know, and like would that have been easier as opposed to like making a movie and a series?
You could make Kingslaves a DLC.
Well, I'm just saying, like, do you think that would have been like more cost effective or something? Just asking that in retrospect.
Thinking about Kingslave, I think it'd be better as a movie, personally.
Fair enough. Now,
So, I mean, try to imagine the fight with General Glauca. I mean, all the animations and different AI you'd have to make just for that one fight for a character you're never going to use again.
fair enough. Yeah, that is a really good point.
I mean, I would have liked to see General Glauca in the game. I mean, he was a pretty good, tough character, but of course they had to get rid of him because you can't have Dark Souls in a Final Fantasy.
That's really gonna fuck them up.
One interesting thing is I was actually doing some research on the characters
What, this spot?
in Kingslave,
Yeah.
and I found out
Good.
apparently
Run too fast.
the
though,
one
give
the
me a
main
chance.
guy in the film that you're following, Nix, I think his name was.
Mhm.
Apparently does appear in the
I didn't die
game
once.
at in the final boss area. And apparently he's one of the corpses that is surrounded by Arden or something. So I thought that was kind of cool.
I think Arden makes a artificial corpse of him.
Ah, okay. Anyway, should we move on to our third and final topic for now?
Yeah, you do that.
Okay. Our third topic and last one for the night, or morning, depending on what time it is you're watching. It will be the Shadow of the Colossus remake, which, if it's not out already, should be out in like another day or two. Now, for the the 1 or 2 of you who don't know, Shadow of the Colossus was a very big game back on the PlayStation 2. It was very very technologically impressive for the PlayStation 2. It was really pushed it to its limit, for better or worse, some could argue.
Yeah, 15 FPS when fighting the Titans, so it was probably for the worse.
Like I said, you can make your argument.
Yeah.
But one thing no one will deny and stuff is that the AI back then was really impressive, and it was a very massive feat, and it's gone on to become a massive cult classic and fan thing. And like, if you look up best games of all time, it's very likely you'll find Shadow of the Colossus on it.
Yeah.
And now, fast forward over a decade later, Sony at their last E3 announced that they're remaking it from the ground up on the PlayStation 4. And like, it was a very big deal. And I would like to know, Dolphin B, because I know you're a fan of the original Shadow of the Colossus. What are your thoughts on them making the remake?
Well, first I didn't see the point of it because they'd already remade it for the PlayStation 3. But apparently Bluehole, the developer, has actually remade the game. No, really. Remade it with all their own textures to try and really make it modernized.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that is impressive. I do have a couple of small worries. Most of them are probably petty and whatnot, but still they're worries and stuff. Like, I've already seen some reviews and stuff, and I think even Digital Foundry said something like this, like that in a way it's better than the original, or that in a way it does what it does but better. Now, whether that's true or not, I'm worried some people might be like, "Oh, this completely overwrites the original." Which I don't think that should in any way, shape, or form, because, like, I don't know, like, yeah, if you look at the PlayStation 2 Shadow Colossus, you can definitely point out a lot of areas where it doesn't hold up. Like, the most biggest one is the frame rate being messy at times, and
The controls as well.
yeah, the controls and the graphics and stuff. But like, I still would argue that the game is still at least to some degree worth looking at, if not playing, at least looking at YouTube or whatnot, because of how much of a technical achievement it was for the time, and how much respect I have for the director and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm just worried, like, if I just don't like it when some people just write off the originals and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a new version where they put in all the Colossuses. I suck at grammar, sorry. I'd have liked to have seen a remake of it where they put in all the ones that they cut out.
Yeah, like, a minute.
Yeah.
Sorry,
They actually had to cut out quite a few of them because the PlayStation 2 just didn't have enough RAM to contain them all.
yeah, I heard about that. And I heard they actually thought about putting in optional Colossus bosses, but ultimately they felt they didn't do that because they felt that would have been anti-aesthetic to the front of the game or something. Yeah, that would have been interesting.
You want it?
Well, like, what is interesting is what I've learned that they've added. Apparently they've added a few other Easter eggs to the game, apparently.
Stickies.
Apparently there's a Last Guardian Easter egg and whatnot. So,
I'll
there's
have to look
that.
at that one.
I do find it,
Yeah,
like,
watch out.
I don't know, I can't help but wonder, like, is this, like, well, of course it's being done for money, everything in the AAA industry is done for money, but, like, I really do wonder if, like, this is being done from a place of passion, or just completely just cynical money.
Well, from what I've seen, Bluehole did redo the whole game, but they tried to keep the art style mostly intact, so maybe it's a bit of both. Passion and money.
Yeah. And I do, and based on what I've seen from, I think it's called Blue Point. Based on what I've seen of what I've seen from Digital Foundry and a few other reviews and whatnot, it does look impressive, and it's definitely, like, no, like, half-assed stuff. It's very impressive stuff, and I'll probably pick it up at one point or another, since, despite me talking a lot about Shadow Colossus, I've only played a little bit of Shadow Colossus, because I personally never had a PlayStation 2, but I have a PlayStation 4, and about a year ago I had PlayStation,
Oh, I
what was it
missed a
called?
stab.
PlayStation Now, what's it called?
Mm-hmm.
That service where they allow you to play PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 games. I tried it out for a bit, and I was able to beat the first two Colossus before, like, PlayStation Now just completely gave up on me and just wouldn't play any games whatsoever. I'm sure it's improved since then, but, like, back then, like, a year ago, I would not recommend it, because the frame rate on those games would go from being super high to super low at, like, an instant, and sometimes it just would stop for no reason opening pad.
Yeah. I mean, on emulator now, the game is pretty good if you want to try that route.
Yeah, I still have to get into emulation. Like, I've been talking to myself I want to get certain games emulated, but, like, you know, life and other stuff. Anyway, I think that's the last of what we want to talk about for tonight. What about you?
I can't really think of too much unless you want to talk about emulation. You know, what are your thoughts on it?
I'm probably mostly for it. I think it's a very good way for people to play games that are, like, really old and they never re-release on, like, PC or other consoles and whatnot. Like, there's some games that I really love, or that I really love, that are either only released on the PlayStation 3 or something, or Xbox 360. And, like, I'll constantly say to my friends that where I'll be like, there's something that I love so much, and it's constantly like, I don't care how you get it, if you have to emulate it, you have to buy it, or whatever, just play this game. Like, I know some people have problems with emulation, but I'm like, you have to play that game, that's how you have to be done, you know?
Yep. Especially
But
now
I don't want to... don't wanna
Nintendo
sound like
Switch anyway coming out.
I don't want to sound like I'm like pro like. There's certain
Piracy?
cases.
You
Yeah,
don't
like
wanna
there's
sound
certain
like people,
cases.
you know.
Like, I know it's not very common, but like for an example, like if it's a game that just came out, like I don't know, this is a stupid example, but say like it was still 2015 and Uncharted 4 just came out and somehow had it ready on emulator. I don't know if I'd be entirely for that because it just came out and stuff. But if it's like 5 years down the line, I'm really probably dealing with it's not that big of a deal. I mean, 5 years, they made a lot of money, you know what I mean? Anyway, I think that's
All
it for
sentries are
tonight.
down.
Let us know if you guys have any suggestions or things you want us to talk about, and if there's anything we can do to improve. I've been Papa G,
And I'm Dolphin V.
and have a good night, everyone.